How we doing, guys? The sun is shining, and behind me something is much more beautiful than the sun right now, and that is that glorious N52 in my 2006 BMW 130i. So today I'm doing a long-awaited preventative maintenance job, although I think I have got a sticky kind of VANOS situation as well, so this may well solve that too. But we are replacing the VANOS solenoids on a 2006 E87 130i with the beautiful N52 engine, so stay tuned for this one. So all you need for a job is a flathead screwdriver. This one's freaking cool, look at it, ready? Reverse, a little bit of kit. A T20 that is, yeah. And a 10mm socket on a small ratchet. That's all you need. So guys, I've done the right job, as you always do. These are official BMW VANOS solenoids, replacing both. Absolutely beautiful. Now, VANOS solenoids used to be, although not very of course, but the Febby Bilstein replacements for these, which I would have gone for, used to be about 60 odd quid, but they don't do them anymore from what I could find. I scoured everywhere, I could only find one, so I scrapped the idea, I went for BMW. These cost me from ML Performance about £230, but I don't think the ones on here have ever been changed, ever. So that's from there. I'll put a link in the description for the details of how to get these. They came very quickly, and let's get right to it. So use a T20 to remove these 4 nuts. And then very gently we're going to use a spanner to pry this loose here, so we have access to the front of the engine. There we go, so this is now out of the way. You can see our 2 very grimy VANOS solenoids. I recommend doing them one at a time, so you don't get the plugs mixed up. Start with the bottom, so if you do get any oil residue, it then leaks down, rather than doing the top one first, leak all over the plug, you're going to take off. If you've got bare hands like me, because I haven't bought any freaking gloves recently. So yeah, I'm going to take off these 2 clips and then use the 10mm to loosen the nut and pull them out with a bit of force. One thing I forgot to mention though is it's worth removing the belt to stop you from getting oil and deposits and stuff on it. I'm not going to. I've checked the belt on mine and it is fine, and I cannot be asked to fiddle around with that, so I'm going to cover it. But make sure you do cover your belt to stop any residue oil get all over your belts. So it is quite tight in there, but as you can see, we've removed the plug. The plug's now over here, nice and safe out of the way. And we've now got the bolt ready to be taken off. And we've got lots of cloth covering around here to stop any oil residue. This car's been sat all day, so it's cold, and I'd highly recommend to do it with the car stone cold, because you're going to lose a lot more oil out of this if you do it with a slightly warm or very warm engine, as well as the inherent risks of burning yourself and all that shit you don't really want to do. So yeah. There we go, ready to remove. So that's the first one out of there, guys. Now, that's been leaking for quite a while down the front of the engine, and as you can see in here, there's a seal. Now that seal you need to get out of there, otherwise the new one won't fit flush when you put it back in. There you can see it there. Remove that seal. I got it out by applying force to get inside of the plug and using a flathead to pull it out like that. It wasn't actually too bad. I know getting it back in is going to be harder. So that's that one done. So that was really tough to put back in place. It was really, I was pushing with a lot of force, so I couldn't get it applied back into the engine. So I've lined the hole up on here, managed to push it as far as I could, and then used the ratchet and the 10mm to pull it tight. So if you get to a point where you're about half a centimetre out from getting inside and it won't go any further, use the nut to pull it in place. So that's the bottom one done. So I'm going to unclip the top one, which is a little bit more fiddly, and do the same process again. So unclip, unbolt, pry out, seal out, and put the other one in. Forgot to mention, guys, always lubricate your shaft before you put it in. That is one of the #1 rules in many things in life. Make sure you lubricate this. So here is the second one, ready to go in. There they are, both done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start the engine with the intake pipe off, just to make sure there's no obvious leaks for a few minutes, and then go back to putting the pipe back on, and that is it. That is a very simple way of doing this. So guys, I've tested the car within a couple of minutes, no leaks, car seems to be okay. I'm going to give it a test drive and see how it performs. So there we go, that's just a simple guide on how to replace VANOS solenoids on a BMW 130i. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Due in the next video will be a walkthrough about some of the latest modifications I've done on the BMW. There are a couple. And the next video to come up after that, probably after the weekend that we're currently going to come up to, we have got some ready meat videos to come up, so I'm really excited to do those. Just to say, guys, for those that are interested in more of the meat side of things rather than my car, because yes, it can get very boring, meats are back on the 23rd of May. Our first meet is back in Weymouth. We're very excited for it, and we can't wait to start getting some videos. Car reviews, we're going to get back on track with those. So obviously finding the time to fit in reviews is difficult, but I will try my best to get more of those on there. Yeah, and there it is. I'm literally, my hands are ruined after working on the car for quite a lot this week. There's a few modifications that have happened. I had to actually get down to the shop and buy some gloves, but there we go. I'd recommend wearing gloves when you work on your car. It just saves your ass and your hands from being horrendous. They are bad. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you again soon.